Today, we're going to look at some Hobby Ace props, some 50-30s and some 200 QX style props. Before we get started, I would like to say that I was given these products at a discounted rate in order for my review. However, that does not change the fact that I am unbiased in this review. So, let's get started. We have two sets of props here, some 5-inch and some 3-inch props. These came from Amazon, so they were shipped in a couple of days. They were packaged very well, and the overall quality is pretty good. So these are the Gemfan props that I'm sure you've purchased and used before, but I'll show you what you get in this pack and how it comes from Hobby Ace. This is the name of the Amazon store is Hobby-Ace. So these are the 5-inch props. I've already opened this to make it easier for the video, but this is what you get. So you get your props. Get this out of the way. And then you get your prop adapters depending on what size motors you're going to put them on. This just makes it easier if you have different millimeter style spindles for the motors you're putting them on. Standard, they look to be pretty good quality. I have not had a need to use those, so I usually just put them in a box or throw them out. The props come pretty well balanced from Gemfan. I've found a few are slightly out of balance, but a quick shave on the hub or a little bit of tape on the underside of the blade works rather well. So I haven't had a need to balance many of them. So pretty good right out of the package. These are very, very firm. I did notice that if you're doing pretty high speed into a tree, they snap right off, but I think any prop is going to snap right off if you're doing pretty high rate into a tree. Here are the 3-inch. These are the QX 3D white 2LR2 2L2R nylon props. Something I noticed is that these do not have the spindle adapters because you're probably not going to need them. With these as well, they come pretty well balanced right out of the package. I only had to balance one of them, and that was just a quick piece of tape on one of the propellers here. Something I did notice is that on the edge, I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on here or not, but there's a little piece of plastic on some of them where it's like they were popped off of some type of parched tree or something when they are manufactured from the manufacturer like that. So if you have any type of plastic, just a little nub of plastic on the end, you might want to scrape that off with a hobby knife. 2 of them have it, the other 2 don't, which is interesting. So these are 2 that are going one way, and the other 2 that are going the opposite direction, they don't have it. So those are those. The other sets that came with it are just the same thing, but in red. QX 3D red 2L2R, and then the other set 5-inch 3D black 2LR2 Gemfan nylon props. So overall, these props are really good. Surprised the retail price on these it's pretty outstanding. Right now on Amazon they're about $9 with Prime for the 50-30, and then the 200 QX style are $9.99 on Amazon with Prime. So pretty good value, especially if you need props relatively quickly. If you have Prime, you can get them in 2 days, unless you want to pay about $4 or $5 depending on your location to get them next day, and you can get props rather fast. The seller, Hobby Aces, I had a couple questions about some other products they had. Their communication was outstanding. Typically, you get some type of reply within 24 to 48 hours from most other sellers, and I would continue to get emails back and forth within an hour, and that was even over a holiday weekend here in the United States. So that says quite a bit for some of these manufacturers to reply back to their customers within an hour on an item that is not high value item. Some companies will only reply back to you if you're purchasing something that's a few $100s or more. And here I had a question about a $10 part, and they got back to me immediately, and communication throughout the whole purchase was satisfactory. So that's my review of these props. It's more of an unboxing because you're not watching me fly these into a tree or some lake or some body to see how well they withstand an impact. But go ahead and give them a look. I'll include a link in the description for both sets. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. Unless you're a troll, then you can click the X at the top right of your Internet Explorer window and leave a comment there. All right, well, have a good day.